Hey guys, GWS here for some more corruptions here in the early morning, so gonna keep my voice down. Alright, well it starts on 2 players, that's one of the problems here. No characters on the screen. Kinda problematic, but at least we got a normal course selection, and whatever this is. Yeah, spoiler alert, you already see what's gonna happen here. Kind of a mix. We are playing Super Mario Kart, as you can tell, and as you can tell, we're going with the ROL ROR reverse corruptions. We're gonna see what we can get here. So we're gonna repeatedly do this. I've also got some new things that I kind of want to add to this editor too. Stuff that I've been working on other corruptors. Let me get my volume turned down too. Don't like being loud in the morning. Well, I mean, at least the track kinda loads. You know, sure we can't see anything, but hey, we're racing. Though it started us on 2 players, which is why we got. Let's try to see what happens when we don't deal with the split screen. Okay, so let's do this. We'll try this one more time. We'll see what we get. Go to Flower Cup. And we get the same green. So even though we selected 1 player, it doesn't matter. It's giving us 2. So, well, although we cannot race, I guess we can call it a successful corruption because very often on Mario Kart, given the number of menu screens here, as you can see here, there's a lot of places for it to crash before you could even get to a single race. Which, I think I actually have a state loaded, and I do. But I think every time I load this state, it's corrupted to one of the other corruptions that I choose. I mean, we'll see. We'll try to load it a few times, but I'm not going to stick with this one. Um, so let's see. Ooh, well, that's not good. We crash when we push start. So we'll try to load our position. Oh yeah, it's going to do this every time. Um, this is what happens to try to save state during a corruption. You tend to get repeat stuff like this. So I'm going to have to start playing through these games a little bit to get some nice loaded states. And I'm going to have to start doing this if I want to do RPG games. Because RPG games, if you don't have states loaded, you're not going to really get a lot done, to say the least. Okay, so let's try some more. I don't think we're going to load that state anymore. But that's okay. Getting quite a few crashes. I want to do some stuff where I could use the byte editor too. That'll be kind of interesting. And once again, it has a fascination of starting on 2 players when I do this one. Not exactly sure. Let's see, after this, I kind of want to show something to do with the corruptions in general. Maybe it'll be a future tutorial for people. But, yeah, like, when I use the XY swap on Super Mario World, how it would always, like 99% of the time you'd get a workable, uncrashable corruption. We're going to see what happens here. Maybe it'll even be different. I don't know. This is all coming unscripted, so there's no spoilers here. But there's just kind of knowledge experience on my part dealing with the landscape of my beloved program. So just leave a banana there. Hopefully someone slips on it. So far, no corruptions. That seems to be a thing with this. It seems to be very finicky on whether it produces anything useful. As I use my jump for no reason. Sorry, we're on 50cc. Here, have a. Oh, it doesn't. It only goes backwards. Okay, that's normal. So we'll see how the and well, that's normal. That's what normally happens, right? Yeah, it fades to black, and then you get um, a gargled mess at the end. Yeah, that's normal. That's normal. Um, okay, so let's try. So yeah, let's see what happens when we do the XY, just as a potential lesson. So it worked perfectly fine before. This one's a little bit different, but it's been crashing for me every time. And this goes to show you that every game is programmed differently, which is why you really got to have stuff understood at the processor level to program one of these things. So yeah, this is the most common one right here, where you get the two greens and then the cart sound. Excuse me. Okay, so we're not going to continue with this, but basically that's just a lesson. Like some of these are going to. Oh, okay, I already have these. I didn't think I had these. I wasn't paying attention. Um, so okay, so we got these three things. I kind of want to try some of them out. I didn't try them out a lot of Mario because I was just kind of getting warmed up with this. So you got the sub snipper, the sub opcode edit, and the sub operand edit. Basically, the sub snipper, it'll take a subroutine and it will return from the subroutine prematurely. Um, so let's just see what that does real quick. I don't have confidence we're going to get good results on a game like this, but let's just see. Because I want to kind of cover the whole thing in general. Um, so we get title crash essentially. So we get a fade out on the music. We don't have an indicator on most of these. See, it seems like all the music is fading out. The sound effects seem to be okay though. It's not letting us select anything. So we are soft locked. Just for kicks, let's see what happens when we load a state. Okay, that's what happens. All right. Looked like it was going to be interesting, but it wasn't to be. So yeah, anytime you're kind of editing the contents of a subroutine, it's very dangerous because there's a lot of subroutines on, especially at the assembly level that deal with basic stuff that's not highly gameplay related. But you could also get effects like this, which is like stuff you could never predict or understand, but you just gotta appreciate for what they are. Um, this thing being graphical chaos, and then we don't get an update. Let's do the let's try load. Oh no, this is just loading the another ROM. We want to load position. I was hoping we get a shortcut, but we didn't. We get one frame and then we get screwed. That's okay though. We'll try this a few more times, see what we get. See if we can get something other than graphical artifacting. one more time. Excuse me. Boomer moment. Okay. Now, we want to select something else. Okay, so we want to go sub opcode. This is another one I don't have confidence in because I have it where it'll match the bytes of the opcode, which gives it a little bit more stability. But at the end of the day, it's going to very heavily edit the instructions, and usually you get something that's either loaded or not loaded properly, or so let's try one more on this. But it's like I said, like because of the way these things work, um, especially the way data is stored on an SNES cart, you can get very different results for very different games, even with the same kinds of corruption filters, even on something like this. Okay, so this one should be a little bit more fun because this is the operand. And see, with the operand, we can actually play with the modification type. Um, so basically, any kind of data will you can subject these filters. So you got 0 to 50, 0 to 5, less than greater than 7F, which is very often used. And then these are pretty much bit shifts right here, the divides and multiplies, invert signs, mirrors. Um, and here's wait for v blank. That's interesting. I can't remember specifically how I implemented that, but I'm gonna go with random bit flip. I want to see what I get from this. Usually you get fun stuff with bit flipping. The see, cool thing about bit flipping is, like a lot of times, a processor use, or even games will use something called flags, which is basically instead of a byte is 8 bits, right? And a flag is 1 bit, and usually they'll use 1 byte as a collection of 8 flags, and what they'll do is they'll test them collectively, so that you don't have to use nearly as much memory to get the same number of variables. It's a very important memory safe technique, but we can also use it because since a lot of games will use flags, if you just flip 1 bit, where you would otherwise crash the game, you may not crash the game. But as you can see, the problems with any corruption dealing with something like Mario Kart, where you're having to traverse multiple menus, um, is those problems are evident. Yeah, this is interesting. When we try to race, we get these kinds of artifacts, which is kind of cool because it's not just, it's more than just like improper sprites loading. We are not getting anywhere with this though. So let's try something different. Let's try ink deck random. Basically what it'll do is it'll take the values used, for the operands here, because I got the operands selected. What this will do, or it should be doing if I programmed it right, I should have, is it'll just take that byte and then apply it to the filters. And then since I have ink deck random, ooh, that's not what's supposed to happen, which is a good thing, but we'd like to get something playable, and it's not cooperating. Like some of these, like I said, are way better than others, and some, yeah. Okay, so we'll try this a couple more, and we'll try to get you guys some good stuff. You may want to skip around the video, particularly on these. It's a little bit late to give that advice, but okay. Let's try loading, and then after that we will switch to something else. Okay, it doesn't even let us race. Alright, let's reopen this. Okay, yeah, the game is not having our stuff. Okay, so here's another one that kind of, do I have, I don't think I have, let's do small constants, um, otherwise known as literals. Basically, what the small constant will do is it'll look for values that are small numbers, and it will edit those. It'll only edit something small, and the idea is you'd like to edit more things that have to do with, for example, lives, or maybe something like jump height, or something like jump acceleration, or number of players. You know, there's different stuff you can do. And see, what's cool is we already have the random ink deck, so it's like, you know, say the number of lives is like set to 3, it'll lower it to 2 or raise it to 4 if it's editing now. This is interesting. This is very interesting. Did that move? I wonder if that was moving down there. I wasn't paying attention. Um, that is actually really kind of cool. See, what's cool with this too is I can I can corrupt this again. Um, like I can go. Let's try 0 to 5, and then we'll corrupt the byte editor, and then we'll use. Let's see, it's giving us something similar, but let's see if it took away the problem with now it's giving us something different on the bottom. That's interesting. I wonder if it's going to stop us mid-race again. Probably. Oh no, it's letting us go, but nope, not anymore. Okay. Let's play with this a little bit. Let's go 0 to 50. And as you can see, this will just give the value you're editing, you know, value from 0 to 50. Basically, it'll cap it at 50. Okay, so let's corrupt this. And we are completely out of that. So let's use again. Oh, I know it's going to do the same thing. I got to corrupt it. Use just takes it, applies it, and then loads the file. So let's see if we can get different things to happen. Let's try Star Cup. Get something different loaded in here. And yeah, that now both ends. Let me just, oh, yeah, we're gonna keep freezing here. It's kind of interesting, but the novelty's wearing off quickly. So let's ride this for a while. We'll get a new batch. See if we can get stuff that's slightly different. Let's go back to Flower Cup. Um, we crash and start up again. Yeah, it's few and far between on these ones, unfortunately. And, well, at least we get visuals here. I think it removed a layer, or removed a couple layers. And, let's see, music's corrupted. And we can't move very far. But, well, we get some different stuff loaded, which is kind of interesting. We don't want this, though. So let's set that back to random, and let's go. Well, actually, what I should be doing is 1 to 50, because we're doing small const. So let's do that. We'll go 1 to 50, because usually you don't want to overflow small values, because then you start getting into where it'll load junk data. And almost always when the game starts loading junk data, that's when you're gonna quickly crash. And we don't want that. Unless we're playing Mario 3 and we're like doing a credits warp glitch or something, or a Mario 1. Okay. No text, but that's... Ooh! Acid trip. Alright. This seems to be a recurring theme here. So let's, okay, so this will flip, you know, con 0 128 swap. Let's try this, because see what this will do is it will, I don't remember exactly what it does. It either flips the 7th bit, or it'll just look for stuff equal to 0 and 128 and swap them. But we're gonna see what it does. So let's do that, and then let's start corrupting these. Let's see. Choose Mario again. So far we're tame. See, here's the thing too, is, I mean, it's not producing a lot of interesting corruptions, but if you look at most corruptors, it's very hard to corrupt games like this, like I said. Much less most games. Like, outside of your Mario games, it's a little bit hard. Like, what you'll see in highlights is, like, usually people have to do dozens to find good ones. But because I use the knowledge of the SNES processor, it's actually a lot higher of a percentage. Hashtag humble brag. You jerk, I was gonna jump that wall. I was gonna use my elite boomer skills. Alright, well, thank you for running into that for me. I don't even think I saved time there, but that's okay. Alright, well, we finally got a corruption, unfortunately. Oh, wait, we're still stuck on. Well, it doesn't matter because I don't think this one takes a custom byte. Maybe someday I'll go over the program and I might release it open source, but the corruption community is kind of dead, so I don't even know how much interest I can get on these. I just like to do this for my love of the game, because I've always been interested in corruptions. See, people are more interested in the Kaizo Marios and the Mario makers, and it's like, who needs corruptions anymore? Well, I'm here to tell you that I'm going to make corruptions great again. We're not getting. I don't know. I might have to raise the corruption bar on this just because it's not doing what I expect it to do, or some of the cool things that you can get out of this. Because see, 0 and 128, the reason those numbers are chosen is because 128 is negative 0, basically. So it's like you can kind of fool the game to initially think things are okay, but then like as they increment, they're like, we're incrementing negative numbers here, so there's that. Um, but anyhow, let's um, increase to 250. Maybe that'll be too many, but see, another problem could be, well, I don't know, we'd get infinite loops if they didn't have this many, but it could just be, a lot of it could also be that it's editing garbage data. That's probably actually a better explanation. I didn't even think of it that way. So we're gonna get off of this for now. I don't even think I'm gonna do comp load store. See, I'd like to get these all where it's editing subroutines, or at least it's editing um, yeah, stuff in a subroutine format. I think this one used to be good. This JSR and then PLAX2. Oh, okay, I remember what this does. See, this screws with the stack, and what it'll do is, instead of, instead of going, like, adding the subroutine to the stack, what it'll do is it'll, um, like, change the stack. It's hard to explain. Basically, it screws with the way subroutines are loaded. And it's having problems finding, but we got it somehow, and we get an exception, um, which is okay. Probably because I tried to load it twice. So we'll go ahead and run this without debugging, and we will be all set again. Let's try one more time. Oh, okay, wait a minute. Yeah, I gotta load everything again. That's okay. So go Mario Kart. Corruptions, we'll just leave that at 200. We'll go SNES. And then we'll go JSR equals PLAX2. It's a very specific thing, so we probably won't do many with this, because sometimes games just won't use it. Um, but we'll see. Let's see if we can. Oh, okay, it did load it. Yeah, doesn't look like this is a particularly great function. Okay. Yeah, it's let's just for kicks see what happens if we try to load. Oh, it immediately screws it up. It's interesting that it takes this long. I gotta look at how I implemented this. But yeah, we're not gonna do this. JSR equals RTS RTL. Basically, it works a similar way, except for instead of going forward a subroutine, it'll return to it, which is kind of cool. But it's also very unstable. So let's go with 100. If we even want to do 100, really. We may even want to cut this one down to 50. Slight variation on the mushroom. And we're getting blanks for that. Surprisingly, it's gotten this far. Mostly just graphical. Okay. I've never seen this one before. I have never seen this. This is interesting. See, this is what happens when you get the unstable stuff. Like, you get a lot of crashes, but you get a lot of fun stuff like this. I can't even believe I got something like this to happen. Like, when you screw with the physics, you know you beat the game. It won't even let me collect question blocks. All we're doing is we're just jumping around, having a good old time. I wonder if I could beat the game like this. See, what would be kind of cool is like, it's almost a cheat because I don't know if the other racers. Wait a minute. I'm in 8th place. What does that even mean? Okay. That is so weird. We don't even get, what happens when we load? Oh, nothing. That was so weird. The jumping mechanics. That's kind of awesome. See, that's the thing. I mean, we get a crash here, but it's loading surprisingly well. Is my 9 axes. Didn't mean to load that, but okay. If you're interested, you can see that, I guess. We get kind of the same thing loaded here, but at least we get the screen working. A little bit of corruption here. Let's go to Star Cup a little bit. I'm tired of looking at Choco Island. Or we can just look at Endless Ocean. That's kind of cool too. That's really cool. I want to maybe turn this down to 50. Maybe even try to do. Ooh. Okay. Alright, let's try to load the race. I probably should try to find better. Alright. Well, we're going off into the nether. Luigi and Bowser. Um, Everyone's kind of having problems there on that right side. Luigi's approaching a warp speed. DK Jr.'s kind of moving around. Hey! And poor Peach over there. That's kind of cool. Okay. Let's lower this to 60. Maybe not quite 50. I don't want to end up with nothing. See, a lot of these are going to produce, because a lot of these are going to impact the same subroutines. Let's do a mushroom, even though we've already beat this. Okay, we get the little cloud thing. That's actually more common than you'd think, the whole cloud deal. Okay, so let's try a couple more out of this. Pretty much the format I want to use for these games is I want to try to get as much coverage in one game as possible. And so rather than doing what I used to do and just stick with one game till the end of time, I want to kind of do this in the format of like trying a different game every time. Just seeing how the corruptions work, right? So let's see, let's go flower. Well, that might be a problem. Let's just stick a wall in front of me. And it's an actual wall. Lakutu, well, he'll bring me. I'm in third place. Somehow. Maybe because some people started ahead of the wall. I'm in first place now, though, so... Okay, Oh. I see. So I gotta... Well, it's letting me advance. So I guess I'll be able to finish the race. My green shell ceases to exist. Alright, take me ahead. Thank you. Good boy. So we're in 3. And people seem to be having a little bit of a hard time. So let's disappear another green shell here. It's interesting because it's like I don't even have to drive half the track. Oh, I'm hoping it gives me a feather. I'm surprised it's even letting me, like, usually the checkpoints will be all screwed up too when the tracks get screwed up. But this one's letting me go through with it, so we'll see what this does for other tracks. The banana just disappears too. So items just do not exist. Alright. We are... Nope. Won't let us finish. That is a bummer. And even Yoshi here is upset. Poor Yoshi. RIP. Alright. We got a freeze. Wow. Okay. Nintendo logo cart. I'm gonna unload this real quick. Let me save this. Actually, just so I can get it off my screen, so I don't keep clicking on it. Alright, no sound effects. Let's go to mushroom. And we got nothing. Alright. We'll try this 2 more times, see if we can get something. Minimum. Alright. Go Mario. Let's try to get one of mushroom cup. Nope. Alright. Last try. Give us something good. Oh. Oh. I didn't push anything. Alright. There is nothing. No hand is on the controller. I push start. Now it doesn't do anything. That is weird. Okay, that's so weird. Alright, now I'm gonna mash it. It did it for me once. Well, let's watch the intro screen, see if we can get anything. Doesn't look like anything is amiss here. See, what I'm really interested in is what happens when it tries to load the demo track. So this is trying to load the demo, and there are problems. Let's see what they try to do. And as you can see, they are having a little bit of problems. Like the AI knows which direction they want to go. They just don't have... Okay, so we can't do anything with this, which sucks. But let's see... No, it's not gonna let us do that. Alright. Let's do one more. Oh, I said one more before. I almost think that was interesting. Okay, this is gonna be the last one, because we're getting this green screen corruption multiple times, and we're getting this corruption multiple times, and we're getting the same result multiple times. So you've worn out your welcome. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. So JSR skip, we're going to do the difference between JSR skip and JSR equals RTO RTS is the the subroutine skip will which is what JSR is, by the way, a subroutine, jump to subroutine. But what the JSR skip will do is it'll just turn the JSR to what's called a no operation. It just basically means the processor does nothing. And so what programmers will typically do, is they'll fix bugs in their code, and they'll just put a no operation because that's easier than rewriting all the program in general, oftentimes. Like if you got to replace, for example, a 3 byte thing with a 2 byte thing, then the third byte you would just replace no operation, right? Okay, so let's try another one. I think we're going to keep the 60 there just because dealing with the subroutines is a lot less secure. I don't want my OBS loaded. Okay, so we've seen this a few times already. Starting to get to where these are kind of recurring, so I think we're gonna put a cap on the Mario Kart stuff. We're facing backwards, and we're in the water. Oh, and we are pitch black, and we're in 8th place. We got no coins. Interesting. Wait, we're in 1st place now, somehow. Okay. Novelty of this one's worn off, but yeah, a little fun. Can't race, but otherwise it's perfectly normal. Just normal game of Mario Kart, right? Okay. People shooting shells to start the game. Also typical Mario Kart. Wow. So now we get Super Game Boy Kart, at least for that start. Jeez, can we get a mushroom cup in here? I guess. Huh? We get the race at least. Not fair. Let's try again. I won't go into the dirt. So let's try this again. No dirt. You touch the dirt, you die. Oh. Don't get in 7th place or you die. In that case. So more Super Mario Sepia tone. Alright. Choco Island, vanilla chocolate, and Lakutu is having problems. Okay. Hi there, Lakutu. I see your shadow, and there you are. How's the weather up there? Mr. Lakutu. It actually, I mean, if it weren't for the glitchy lines and mess, it almost looked like it's chocolate snow almost. It's hard to even see the question marks. I should try to shoot this shell. See if the bananas are glitched. Nope. Bananas work fine. Okay. That was interesting. I hit a shell and it did nothing. Like Mario, all he did was slow down slightly. That's the furthest we've gone. Wow. Can't see anybody's names. So let's see if is it gonna load. Ooh, we get. Oh, this is gonna be hard to see. Look who's gonna hang out with us again. It seems. I'm in 8th place. Alright, let's just follow these guys. They know where they're going. Well, um, I guess in a loose sense they know where they're going. I don't know, maybe they don't. Maybe they're just as confused as I am. The poor Lakutu's got his work cut out for him. Let's see if we can ever get to lap 2. Ooh. I don't think I've gotten the lap 2. You didn't flash lap 2 anyhow. Oh, this might be it right here. Yeah, somehow we get the lap 2. I'm in 6th. Well, this is a kind of challenge. Oh. Alright. I don't know if this is worth going all the way through. I don't think. This is more of a nerdgasm than anything. I wonder if I wanna. Okay, what? Oh, I'm doing subroutines. I can't switch the bytes. Okay, so we get another rave party at the character select. Yeah, we're kind of running out of. This is starting to produce kind of common stuff. Seems to be editing subroutines dealing with the palette selection. Okay, so we'll just do a couple more, and then I think I'm gonna kind of draw the Mario Kart stuff to a close. We've seen most of the common stuff. I've seen crazy stuff, but it's very hard to get the super, especially when something edits the AI. See, that's what you kind of want. Like that's the whole golden thing is if you can get the AI to just act like idiots or just behave abnormally. And there's Bowser kind of. Whoa, okay, hold on. I think I just got what the doctor kind of ordered. It's not increasing my place. Um, the CPUs are kind of driving like let's wait for some of them here. See if we can't get some to catch up with us. Like, it's weird, like, Luigi going through Donkey Kong and ouch. See, I like it because they're just randomly stopping. It's usually they'll just go hit a wall or something, but it's like on this, they're just actually driving drunk pretty much. Let's just watch Donkey Kong here. Like, see, yeah, this is 50cc, but even in 50cc, they don't drive. Like, they're starting and stopping almost at random. But yet they're kind of following the general line of the track. We still beat them. Calculated. I see even Mario's kind of going. That is so weird. That's just an AI thing. It's not incrementing our coins, so we are self-locked. Um, Although we do get the interesting TIMMM, I don't know where that comes from. That has to be a coincidence, right? There's no TIMMM in the game. Well, anyhow, I think this is the perfect place to end it. This is Super Mario Kart. I will be uploading this to YouTube, and hopefully sometime soon I'll actually start streaming these. And I will be back with a new game either later today, tomorrow, something like that. So, for those interested in corruptions, stay tuned, because if you are interested in corruptions, I could be possibly debuting my corruptor very soon, for you to download for free. And thank you guys for watching, and God bless, and I will see you later with more content.